folks, welcome back. So today we're going to do the second part of our tool post build, and basically what I'm going to do is let's get you down here where you can see that. Sorry, I'm trying to change up how I do the video so that you can actually get a better view. So anyhow, we changed out the stud on this yesterday. I did find the thrust washer, which is actually in here right now. And if you don't know what a thrust washer looks like, and like I said, as it is, it works. The only downside to it is that you can see that this slides around a little bit, and then the thrust washer itself is a little bit bigger than what is actually should be on there. And so what I'm going to do is I'll make a cap that goes over the top of that captures the washer and the thrust washer, so that they're kind of trapped. They're constrained. They can't go anywhere. And in actuality, since I'm going to be making this out of steel, I don't even need the washer here. So literally, I'm just going to make it to fit a loose sliding fit over the top of the thrust washer. I guess you probably can't see that. Basically all it is it's a washer that's got little ball bearings captured in it. And what this does is it allows all of your clamping force, there's no lateral force, it's all vertical forces being directed. So again, like I said, as it is, it works. That's what I'm going to use today to cut this down, to machine this, and it works. There's nothing wrong with it. I'd prefer something that's a little better. I was going to make this out of brass, and I thought, I'll just make it out of the brass that I've been using. I've got this beautiful hex stock, and they're just not enough. It's just not big enough to put that in there. So, and looking around, and I don't have anything else. I did have a piece of pretty good size, looks like 3-inch hex stock, and so I'll turn it out of that. It's what I had handy. I need to restock my offcuts. I drug a lot of it down here from up north. But now that I'm back into actually doing stuff, my supply is dwindling pretty quickly. So I gotta pick up some more. I gotta work on getting some more stuff. But anyhow, what I've done is I've set you back behind the lathe so that I think that you can see things a little better. We're gonna try this. I don't know how well it'll work. I think I'm going to go grab a shorter stool, and I don't normally sit while I'm running the lathe. I don't really like to do that, but it'll at least keep me in frame, and I can talk to you as we're doing this. So here we go. We'll try this and see how it turns out. Hopefully this is a little better. I'm going to wind up making an articulating arm, I think, that I can basically hang over the back side of the lathe, and I can come up directly over the top. I can put it over back here, or I could flip it way over here and then redirect it. That's going to be a project here pretty soon, because I'm trying to do some good stuff with the channel. I'm trying to grow the channel, and so I need to build a little infrastructure to make my videos better for you, so you can see what I'm doing and not guessing what I'm doing. And I think the light's a little better where we're situated there too, because the camera's in the dark, and then this has got direct light on it. So anyhow, we'll give it a try, see how it works out. Back in a few. Alright, so got this chucked up. I'm going to go ahead and face the side of it, and then I'll probably go ahead and drill this for a 30 seconds, I think. What is it? Yeah, 33/64. Sorry, 33/64 is the tap drill size for a 9/16 18, which is what the stud is. So I'll drill that, tap it, and then I'm going to open up the bottom of it to fit the thrust washer. And once I've got that done, then we'll go ahead and flip it around, and basically I'm just going to contour it. I think I'll probably wind up just leaving a little bit of the hex down at the bottom, and then I'll profile it. It'll kind of look like an acorn nut. At least that's what I've got in my mind. We'll see. Like I said, as it goes, I usually get better ideas about how I want to do things. So here we are, and as I run this, I'm not going to sit on a stool. I'm just not comfortable doing that. I don't like having my face right up in the lathe. I like to be back over here to the side so I can see clearly what's going on. And then, if I do have something that hops out of the chuck, I'm generally not in the line of fire. So here we go. Change something up here real quick. Alright, there we go. Side. Alright, changed up my drill bit a little smaller, and I got a tri-lobe here. A little less cutting pressure. Slowed the speed down a little bit too. Using just a little bit of cutting oil. Yeah, it's just really at the max of what this little machine wants to do. Plus side is I don't have to go very far. I really only need a little over an inch. Yeah. Alright, we're going to have to, I'll have to get a smaller drill yet. And yeah, it just doesn't have enough room to push it through there. So back in a moment. about as manual as you can be. I'm going to bring it out close to the outside diameter, and I'll leave it just a little bit there, and then I'll clean it up in one pass, the plunging pass. That's probably about 50 thousandths or thereabouts. Again, this doesn't have to be exact. Ooh. How about 110 thousand? So, okay. Good thing we stopped and measured. Alright. So, and I want to go to 175, so I don't have a whole lot more to go. Alright, I think that'll get us. $165. Dang it. Alright, I'll take this a little bit more. And that opened that up to about 310. Let's see here. 325, that's fine. And then $375. Alright, we're good. Alright, so I like that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn just a small step in that so I can get the only tap that I have in 9/16 18 is this machine tap, and so it's kind of hard to get this thing started. I don't have a good way to get it started square, and so if I put a little bit of a shoulder in there, that lets this sit, and then hopefully I can get it going. So it's cut just the slightest little shoulder in there. Alright, I got a tap follower here in the chuck, and let's see if we can get this thing started. That little lip will help. Yeah, I think we're good. These things can be kind of a pain in the butt to get started, especially in something like this. You know, a normal tap, you know, it's got a pointy end on it to help center it. You know, in your little countersink. This has the slightest amount of paper on it, but not the same. All right. Let's see. Let's put a little tap magic in there. I suppose if I was really daring, I could power tap this, but I don't think so. Yeah. Alright, so we can pull this out now. And let's see if we can run this. Here we go. These machine taps throw your chip back out behind it, so they're good for blind holes, which is what this is. Clean all this out, and then I'll run it back up in there full depth. We're pretty close as it is, I think. Probably all that I really need, but we'll go ahead and run her all the way. Could have locked the headstock, but it's really kind of a pain in the butt to do. Well, it's not a pain to lock it, but it's kind of a pain to unlock it. So if I can avoid it, I don't do it. Again, these little lathes, you know, a lot of compromises. You can do a lot with them, but there's a lot of compromises. There we go, we're bottomed out. There we go. Yeah, I like it. And so if you're wondering, you know, what a tap follow is, all it is this little guy. It's a spring-loaded plunger that sits in the back of your tap handle. And it keeps the back of it more or less in the center of your part. And then, you know, like I said, on a normal tap you would have a little bit of a lead in taper right up there. On this I cut that little shoulder like I showed. Well, it looks beautiful. Alright, so now I think I'm just going to turn it down round, because I don't want it to be much larger than the diameter of this, and if I just did this, it would be quite a bit larger. So I think I'm just going to turn it down round, and then I'll flip it around, and I'll probably cut a taper on one side. You know, I'll taper it to more or less a point, and then I'll rough rough out kind of the acorn shape on it. And then somewhere along the line I got to figure out where I'm going to put a handle, but that'll be the last thing I do. So I'll be back in just a minute. All right, our last cut there finally cleaned it up, and so we got below that. And so right now we're at 1 inch 965, and I wanted to go to 1 inch 8. Our surface cut finish isn't the greatest. I'm going to increase the speed a little bit, and then we'll try that. See if we can get something a little better. I might try swap in a new insert, but not real happy with that. I mean, it's not terrible, but it ain't great either, so I want better. Back in a few. I'm going to change out the speed on this. Alright, so we're zeroed out. 1 inch 940. 20,000, I think it'll do that. $20,000 wants to do. So 940, I took 20, and I got about 15, and so I got about 5,000 with the spring pass there. So dang it! Oh, this is so frustrating. I guess I'm going to have to put a flat belt back on here. It is what it is. Let's clear all this crap out of the way. Put us about 1 inch 9. Yeah, 1 inch 9. Double check here. Like our little false start. Yep, right on the nose. 1 inch 9. So, about 100 thousandths to go. Take a 15,000 total time. Ooh. Well, we're under. All right. Well. All right. So, I guess what I'm going to do, I mean, it'll be fine. Clean this up a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to get some memory cloth, clean that up. Alright, just bringing it up to a decent level of shine here. Not going to be perfect, but yeah. Might go back to a little heavier grip. Still got some pretty decent ouchies in there. I'm going to go back to a little heavier grit. I'm going to go back to a 6-year and 80 grit. See if I can get that last little bit out. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. Yeah, I can live with that. Alright, well, I overshot it a bit. I mean, it's still within, it'll still look fine on the machine. It is what it is. Again, I'm a little rusty, and you know, this machine was never made for high tolerance. You know, there are people who can make this machine do a whole lot better than what I can. Alright, so our hole goes down that deep. Yeah. Alright, so okay, so that works out. So basically I'm doing is I'm just setting it in here and then looking at this edge. Come on, Steve. Alright. So there we're about, yeah, about 1 inch 250. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start parting this off right on that, and then I'm going to go ahead and start cutting that in, I think. I got to think about this because I don't want to, I don't really want to grip it from this where I've polished up. I mean, I can try to find some little brass shim stock to cover it. Yeah, let me think about what I want to do on that. There's several different ways I can do it. I'm not sure which one's going to be the best for us. Back in a minute. That gives me something to shoot for. Gives me a landmark, so to speak. But yeah, that's a little northward. QA 06R 20J, and man, that thing worked well. I'm super impressed with it. I had to reset my depth on it though. Ah, dang it. Alright, it is what it is. Okay, let me find an appropriate tool here and then I'll come back. Alright, so that terminated pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and put another groove here, just as a decorative groove. I mean, it doesn't do anything, it just looks cool, I think. Oh, I forgot. I got to reset my depth. Dang it. Because that stud wasn't seated all the way in there, so. Alright, I'll be back in a second. I'm going to reset this. Alright, I reset my center height here. Let's try that again. Much better. I didn't see how much of a difference that'll make. Right? Alright. And then I'm going to come back over here and see if I can't part this thing off or get it pretty close. so I got that there. Catch that. Of course, I'm going to stand a little out of the way. That's all the reason I've gotten it to it. It's so close. Dang it. Alright, well, I'll take that off with the hacksaw, I guess. Oh, man. Yeah, that's the longest one I got, too. Alright. Yeah, alright. Back. Alright, there we go. Still a little warm. Yeah, I got it down to just a little nubbin. I'm going to take a piece of probably leather or something just to hold that in the chuck so I'm not marring it up. And face that side. That was a little warm too. So anyhow, I'm going to let that cool down a little bit, and then we'll fix it back up. Alright guys, I got it mounted up using some 5000 shim stock there just to kind of hold it in place so it doesn't get marred. Got it held tightly. Still going to be very gentle with it. That's really not the best way to hold it, but you know. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, it could buff out a little bit more, but yeah, and I might stick it on a buffer. I don't know, probably not. Looks pretty good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to let it cool down a little bit more. It's still kind of warm, and I'll do a test fit on this and make sure that everything's going to work the way that it's supposed to. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put it in place. I'll torque it down so that it locks it, and then I'm going to mark where I want the handle. Back in a bit. Alright, so there we go. That's what it's going to look like. I'm going to put the handle right about here. Right now I don't have it. I've just got it hand tight, and you know, it's actually pretty snug. So I might actually put it here. And I think that I probably will wind up doing some type of coating on this. I've got some stuff that I haven't used that was given to me a while back, some bluing solution, so I think I might try that. How bad can it be? But yeah, that looks good. I like it, and like I said, at hand tight I can still move it, but it's now I can't. Yeah, I can just barely move it at hand tight. So yeah, I'm super happy with that. We'll see what the next step is. Okay folks, so we got kind of a sketchy setup. So the angle on that was about 45 degrees. You know, 43, 44, 45, 46, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I've got a 45 degree angle here, and I'm going to do a 1/4-20 handle. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, I've got my place spotted. I've got this placed in a V-block, scrunched down pretty tight. I've got a piece of shim stock there. I'm going to bring a 1/4 inch end mill over the top of that and spot that, and then we'll see just how. I mean, it's actually, well, I thought it was pretty rugged. I think what we need to do is that. There we go. All right, now it ain't going anywhere. So this holds the clamp in place. This then holds the piece to the clamp. So we should be pretty good. We'll see. More control and a lot more feel. It's a little on the sketchy side. Alright, that looks pretty good that way. Looks pretty good that way. Alright, let me go. Be right back, folks. All right, folks, despite the extremely sketchy setup, we were able to get it spot faced. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to try to put a center drill in here. I'm going to try to go ahead. I'm going to try to drill it with the number 7 tap drill for a 1/4 20. In this setup, if that doesn't work, I'll just take it over to the drill press and do it by hand. But I think this will work. I hope it'll work. I really hope it'll work. Take that as a success, and then we'll try to drill it with number 7. I'm going to get another clamp on this just to, again, try to make this just a little bit more rigid. A little bit. Not a whole lot, a little bit. Because it's never going to be rigid. Alright, back in a moment. Alright, folks, so again, I've rigidized the setup a little bit by adding another clamp. It's still a little sketchy. I've slowed it down just a hair, and I'm just baiting this thing through there. And I'd rather have this a little longer than shorter. We got it drilled with a number 7, and now we just got to tap that 1/4 20, and we'll call this puppy mostly done. I still have to, I'm going to clean it up, degrease it, and I'm going to try my my bluing agent that I had. I've never used it, so we'll see. Talk to you in a bit. Let me tap in here, and just getting it started. So it started straight. And then I'll go ahead. Now I got it started straight. Just release it. And I'll put a tap handle on it. And I gotta finish her off. Back in a moment. And I grabbed a little sharper tap. Ooh. But I'll tell you what. That was really tight. I don't like pushing these little small taps because, boy, they're darn easy to break. may be at the bottom of the hole with a tip. Shouldn't be, but maybe. Alright, let me go see if I can find a bottoming tap. I'll be right back. Alright folks, so we got it set. That was by far one of the sketchier setups I've ever done. I wasn't sure that it was going to hold, but once I put that latch strap on there, it was pretty good. So yeah, it's all cleaned up. I've got one where the vise was in contact with. I got one little mark there, and so what I'm going to do is I'll chuck it up on the on that thing and I'll spin this and I'll polish that back out, or maybe I won't. I don't know. I probably won't. Hey folks, alright, so we're going to try some blackening stuff. This was given to me by a friend of mine up north before I moved down here. He liked it for the most part, but he found something that he liked better, and so, you know, I don't know. Anyhow, it's by Birchwood Technologies. So right now we're doing a Safe Prep surface conditioner, which basically I think etches the surface. Yep, it sure is. It's etching it. So it turned out nice. It's turned nice and gray. It's already kind of oxidizing a little bit. All right, and so putting that in there, just swooshing her around. So then I'll rinse it in clear tap water, and then it goes in a solution of Presto Black MKP. So I don't know, we'll see. I've never used this stuff before. Like I said, he had used it and he liked it for the most part. He had some issues with some material that had been sandblasted, and he was a little put out by that, but other than that, he liked it. Okay, so I rinsed this for 30 seconds in fresh tap water, and now it goes into Presto Black. And so this supposedly goes for, 3 to 4 minutes, something like that. Oh yeah, it's turning a nice shade of black already. Yeah, look at that. I'm super impressed with this stuff, especially since it was free. I like free. All right, so we'll come back after I rinse this, and then I'll put a little oil on it to seal it, and then we'll take a look at it. That turned out well. I haven't dried it off yet. I just rinsed it off. I'll dry it off. Well, now we're losing a little bit, but now it looks really good. I got just one little hiccup right there, which, whatever. All right, I'm going to put some oil on this to seal that in, and I'll be back in just a moment. Honestly, folks, I am pretty happy with that. If I'd have had a little better surface finish on it, it would have turned out even better, I think. I didn't do a whole lot of prep as far as cleaning. I mean, I wiped it down with acetone, but I didn't really scrub it with detergent or anything. I'm going to call that a win, and I am just going to use a 1/4-20 bolt, and I'll 3D print a handle to go over the top of that, and we'll call it good. So I'll 3D print that this evening, and this thing will be ready. I'm going to put it back on there, and then we'll take a final video. All right, folks. So on, off, not moving, off, and on. I like it. Doesn't get much better than that. It's out of the way, and it's Dr. Orange. Hey folks, so that's going to be a wrap for this project. I've got a fairly big announcement coming out in the next week to 10 days. I'm just waiting on one thing. Actually, the one thing is supposedly there. I have to go pick it up. But some big changes, some good changes coming for the channel. I have 129 subscribers, and you know, thank you for those of you who have subscribed. Really appreciate that. You know, I try to do interesting content. I try to do informative content. I try not to take out too much of the mistakes, because, you know, that's all part of it. Is that, you know, we make mistakes and we learn from those mistakes. You know, I've been out of the game for almost 5 years now. So not quite 5, I guess 3.5 going on 4. And so, you know, a lot of the skill sets are rusty. I really hadn't been doing a whole lot as far as, you know, machining and rapid prototyping and all that good stuff. But getting back into it, getting my groove, and hoping to create a whole lot of great content for you guys. You know, I absolutely do look at comments. I try to respond to comments as soon as I can see them. And, you know, I really want to grow this channel and create a little community about learning how to do things, and the love of making things. And that's why I do this, because I really do enjoy it. I love sharing that with others. And so again, for my 129 subscribers as of today, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And you know, I hope that you stick around for what's to come. Talk to you out. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later.